Matthew chapter 15 and verse 28 of Matthew 15. The New Living Translation says these words, "Dear woman," Jesus said to her, "your faith is great. Your request is granted." And her daughter was instantly healed. I want to talk from the subject, the power of a Gentile's faith. The power of a Gentile's faith. The story is told about two men, Jim and Fred. Fred passes by Jim's house in a small town, going to make some purchases at the store. And he says, "Hey Jim, how are you doing?" He says, "Great." He says, "I'm going to hook up with you when I get back." And I'm heading right over the hill to the stores to make a purchase. Jim says, "I'll see you by God's power when you get back." He says, "Man, it's the same thing. This has nothing to do with God's power. The stores are over the hill. I'm going to walk right over there, make the purchases, and come back. Y'all are too religious." So Jim says, "I'll see you when you get back." 5 minutes later, he came dragging over the hill, bruises all over his body. And Jim asked him, "What happened, Fred?" Fred says that he fell among a couple of thieves who beat me up and robbed me of my money. He says, "So what you gotta do?" He says, "By God's power, I'm gonna try to make it to the hospital." The faith of this woman, seen in the text, speaks to the quality of mothers relative to their children. How a mother would stop at nothing to help a child who is in need.
Yes.
Mothers have great influences on their children. I want you to consider Susanna Wesley, the mother of John and Charles Wesley. This woman are those two brothers who are the founders of the Methodist denomination. She impacted their lives from their early days. Wouldn't have been a John and Charles Wesley, there wouldn't have been a Methodist church if it had not been a Susanna. Her witness and guide over the lives of those two boys, along with their other 15 siblings, because she raised 17 children. She was truly a brave woman, and you had to be a brave woman with 17 kids. And she had a special bond with each of them. 1 hour each week, she would spend that hour with each of those children to impact their lives with biblical truths and principles. She shared with them the results seen in John and Charles Wesley, who became the founders of the Methodist Church, impacted England and America with revival services. Proverbs 1 and verse 8 says, "My son, hear the instructions of your father, and forsake not the law," which means the same thing, instructions of your mother. Abraham Lincoln said these words, "That I am, all that I am, and ever will be, I owe it to my mother." What a treasure a mother of faith is to her offspring and all who are around her. The impact of a mother's faith. The mother in this text was just an ordinary woman. We wouldn't have heard anything about her if she hadn't had a child who had a need. She was no Jewish woman. She didn't go to church regularly. She didn't have broad, expensive Baptist hats. She didn't step into church every Sunday in heels decked down with the finest extensions and makeup perfectly applied. She was an ordinary mother. And as a result of our child having a need is how we came to know her. Her faith is seen in the way she engaged Jesus to get what she needed from him for her child. And I want to get right to the text because I want to be true to this 20 minutes and get you next door in the dining hall. So from the subject, the power of a Gentile's faith. The first thing I want to point out about this woman's faith is that by faith, she overcame her obstacles.
Yes.
By faith, she overcame her obstacles. What are obstacles? Obstacles are barriers, hurdles. They are stumbling blocks. And I know that some of you are thinking now that I have a number of them. Obstacles are obstructions. And they are handicap, impediments, things that prevent you from achieving what you are seeking to achieve.
All right.
Obstacles can be your bills, it can be your children, it can be a job. Obstacles can be your family member.
Yes.
Obstacles sometimes your relationship can be an obstacle. Just look straight. Look straight. So anything that impedes your progress and movement is an obstacle. This woman was faced with an obstacle because her daughter was grievously vexed with the devil. The question is, when you are faced with obstacles, when obstacles cross your path, do you allow them to contain, confine, and control you, or do you confront, counteract, and crush them with your faith? When you are told by the obstructionists, because there are a lot of them, whenever you have business plans or whenever you seek to progress in your place of employment or anything that you're doing, there are always obstructions.
Yes, sir.
And when you are faced with the obstructions who tell you you can't do, you wouldn't achieve, it has never been done. What is it that you do? Do you subscribe to their protocol? Or do you stand on the empowerment that Christ provides? Philippians 4 and verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This woman was desperate. She probably went to every Jewish healer. She went to the priest, to every rabbi. And because of her gender, her ethnicity, and her race, they refused to render assistance to her. Remember, the concept was that Jews would be ministered to by Jews. The Gentiles were shut out. And so, when we look at the obstacles, the barriers that she faced, what were the obstacles? She had a sick child, that's the one thing you must note. Her daughter had an extreme case of demon possession. In this possession, she could not obtain a cure for. Verse 22 tells us that she cried out to the Lord, saying, have mercy on me, son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. Imagine the problem that this posed for her. This type of sick child was not an easy case to deal with. She had a mother. She was a mother probably faced with the case of being consumed with time, not having the time to spend with the other kids. No question, whenever you have a child that's extremely sick, and you have other children, they're going to be robbed of the time that the mother should be spending with them. Yes. And so the challenge is, her husband, on many nights, probably lying in the bed and said, why am I raising Wow. Alone while she's in the room, cuddling and calming down her demon-possessed daughter. Jesus. The other kids, mommy is busy again with Susie, and so we had to work it out on our own. So there was that challenge as a mother for the time being consumed with her daughter. Not only the challenge for the time being consumed, but imagine the stigma in the community. Whenever people have a special needs child, the community and people at church and other places don't seem to understand how important it is for you to support them. If they are in a service and the child is autistic or something is wrong with the child, you have to bear with the mother. But some of us ain't better than nobody. God said, pick up, you give up. Oh, look, like, why did you take this child over here? So you can imagine the stigma and the community that she was faced with the challenge of people constantly talking about her. Not only the neighborhood, but going to church, to schools, anything to do with the society, she was faced with a challenge. Sleep deprivation should have been also an issue. Because if you have a child who's possessed with a demon, at any time they can get up at night. And those of you who enjoy undisturbed sleep because you can dim your lights or out your lights and sleep quiet. in the confines of your room. That is not the case with some people who are special needs children or loved ones that they are caring for. 3 o'clock in the morning, some of them are getting up if they have a mental issue or they have an illness. Amen. You can imagine somebody going through that every single time. One of the demonstrations or one of the studies that they had with women, young girls who they wanted to avoid getting pregnant, was that they made them, made them keep a baby. And there was a time clock for them to get up. It's a force baby. But they made the milk. And so you have to go through that study and that experience. And so hopefully it avoided the girls from getting pregnant in their teenage years, because they made them get up like 2-3 times through the night to ensure that they stay away from teenage pregnancy. And then some of you, when you keep your buying nephews or nieces just for one day, you realize that you ain't cut up for a child. And so the sleep deprivation that you went through, you need only have a loud alarm clock for some of you to go off 2 or 3 times through the night so that you understand what others are going through. One of my sermon illustrations, I asked for one of our members to volunteer themselves, and I had them kind of blindfolded and sat through the service for a period, blindfolded. And so I had to be assisted by somebody else to be moved to their seat. Any set of instructions given, you don't know where you're going, you don't see anything. So you get the idea of what a blind person goes through. This mother went through eternal hell with a daughter possessed with a demon. And so when you think about a person in those days with a child possessed with a demon, it was nothing like. So her challenge or obstacle was that she had a demon-possessed child. Not only the demon-possessed child, but while asking Jesus for help, she had to deal with the silence of a sympathetic Savior. She heard that he was sympathetic. She heard that Jesus was loving. She heard that he cared about people. And so she approached him and asked him, can you help me with the issue of my daughter being demon-possessed? Can you cure her for me and bring some relief to my family? In verse 23 of Matthew chapter 15, it says, but he answered her not a word. I said immediately that could not have been a Bahamian woman. It just could not have been a Bahamian woman who asked a pastor to do something for her, and he says, I am not doing it. Come on now. He will be on the front page of every major paper in this country. When God is silent, I want to tell you that he's listening. That's right. Whenever he doesn't seem to be talking, he's listening to your heart. The barrier she faced the barrier of having this child that was demon-possessed, a silent and sympathetic Savior, but she was also faced with insensitive disciples who were around him. Listen to verse 23, the latter part, it says, and the disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she cried after us. I want you to see something. In times of need, there are people who really don't have a certain sense of sympathy towards you. They see you as a liability that they don't want to take on. So sometimes when you are faced with certain needs and you wonder why people don't reach out to you, and they know full well what you're going through, it's because they don't want to be bothered. Stop having the naive expectations of thinking that everybody cares about you. I hate to break it to you, but everybody don't love you. Everybody don't care about you. There are some who love you, there are some who care about you and for you will come to your aid, but the facts are nobody. There are some persons who don't care a thing about you. They don't care if you either. Come on, they don't care if you either. They just don't care. And sometimes people don't like you just by seeing you. They're not spoken to you yet. They're not interacting with you yet. I just don't like how you look, Miles. Let me take. So don't have the naive expectation. You know, people are original. All the married people just look straight. For the men and the women, you're at times that your spouse becomes acquainted with somebody. Whether it's the male or the female. And they introduce you to the person. And you are intimidated by the person. So you start saying, the spirit ain't taking you. And in your spirit, it's that streak of jealousy. Listen to me, you gotta be confident about who you are. He said to the rest of the church, I am confident about my I can walk in grace and get some of the tree. I ain't got no worries about that. I didn't like you going on to me. Let me say this. This is in a comedy show. Everyone that bears God's name does not always represent his ideas. I want you to capture that. Everybody that bears the label of being a child of God does not always represent his ideas. They always speak for God. I'll give you an example. You remember Nathan the prophet? David got rest from all his wars, and David sat in a seal, nice house made with the finest wood from Lebanon. And David said to Nathan, he calls for the prophet, and he says, Nathan, I want to build God a house. He says, I live in this nice palace, this nice seal house, all the finest luxury. And here, the ark of God is in a tent. And Nathan said to him, that's a good idea. Let's build God a house. And as soon as Nathan walked up from David, God called him out. He says, come here. He says, David is not going to build me a house. He's a man of war. He has bloody hands. His offspring will build a house. I'm saying to you, because we bear the name of God, he will always represent the ideas of God. Or speak for God. And sometimes Christians, in the name of righteousness, can do more damage to people than good. These disciples were in his presence, in his midst. They saw the compassion he demonstrated time and time again. They should have known if he didn't answer the woman that he must have been up for something. So they took the fact that he did not answer her to be insulting and to say, well, she needs to just leave because even Jesus isn't answering her. And so they were unkind to her. But I want you to understand that they did not represent his ideas. Amen. Secondly, the second point I want to make, first is, her faith allowed her to overcome her obstacles. But her faith also caused her to persevere. By faith, she persevered. This is the second point. This is shorter than the first. And so we're almost there. We're almost there. Verse 24 says, then Jesus said unto the woman, I was sent only to help God's lost sheep, the people of Israel. When he finally spoke, he says, you're not the one that I was sent to minister to us. Now, I know by this time, the Hebrew women wasn't coming in. Look here. There are some of you in here. Don't raise your hands. If you look straight and you don't smile and you nod your head like it's that, they have to think it's you. But there's some of you in here. When you go places and you get service that is not up to your standard, that's a problem. You are in that business place and you start talking. Oh no, she ain't saying, why is she smiling? And so we don't take that type of service. You can imagine asking somebody for something. And they tell you, oh no, I was sent to help you. So this was an issue. But she persevered. She pressed ahead. She did not allow that Jesus said that I was not sent to you to hinder her efforts in getting what she needed from him. When Jesus refused to give her what she wanted, she continued to press it. Some of us have a short fuse. We walk away from business deals. We walk away from jobs. One guy told me that his wife walked away from 2 jobs. He said she went to the first job, Bishop, and she says, I don't like the way the man talking to me, telling me what to do. So he said, he told her, well, leave it and go home. She left and go home. His salary is able to carry the entire family. House almost paid for, very small mortgage. And so she left. She went to another job. She says, these people getting on my last nerve. She says, well, leave them and go home. See, some of us can't do that. No. Because if the wife leave and go home, she has to be prepared to get out of the BM and drive a Sunny and be prepared to hold that door and go in the hood every morning. And then those kids might have to come out of private school. So the thing is that we give up real quickly, some of us. We have a short fuse, no patience. This woman didn't allow the fact that the disciples were rude to her. Jesus didn't answer her the first time. And then when he finally answered her, he says, I was not sent to minister to you. Hallelujah. We walk away from business deals, from relationships. Sometimes we are right on the brink of a breakthrough with our relationships, and we say to the person, well, we might as well break this off. And over small matters. Sometimes relationships are destroyed over small matters. There are marriages that end in huge. Boy, talking about marriage, money's marriage. Man, just try by. I'm more, just get me through the back door. But there are times in relationships, somebody squeezed the toothpaste the wrong way. Why you gotta twist the toothpaste? You can't just leave it. And then, listen to me. Fights over. Why don't you leave the cap of the toothpaste? That's why they bring the cap upstairs. But we have a short fuse at times, and we lose it, and we allow ourselves to become overtaken by our anger, and we blow things up that don't need to be blown up. Yes, sir. Sometimes you show up to a fire with a gas truck. You can imagine if a house is on fire up there, and somebody calls Esso and says, send one of your trucks from Clifton Pier. Right. You don't show up to a fire with a gas truck. And that's what we do in relationships and in circumstances that we're faced with. We show up to a fire. We alter it. Blow it up. Let's get it moving. Do you remember the woman? Yes. In that story in Luke chapter 18, let me say this, when a woman wants something, yes, ain't nothing to stop her from getting it. Say amen, man. Amen. She can't do me nothing. I believe that. When a woman wants something, she'll stop at nothing. There are times that I already throw in the towel and say, let's do this another time. And when she push, all of a sudden it happens. So that's why God made them our helpmate. Because where we are lagging and lacking, they step in and they know how to put the fire to us. Hallelujah. There is something about when they're after what they want, they seek and stop at nothing until they achieve it. Amen. When my wife decided that she would pursue me, and she said, the lock is in. Lord. You stop at nothing until they get it. This Gentile woman, after it seemed like a no from Jesus, she pressed on. Yes. Until she was successful in achieving what she wanted. I promise you, I'm not going to close and take a long time. But when you look at persons of the past in the faith, were delayed by God, and it seemed like what God had promised that wasn't going to happen.
Amen.
You look at Abraham, he was promised a son, and for years, God didn't do it. And finally, when the son came along, then he said to him, sacrifice the son.
That's right.
And in obedience, he listened to God, didn't tell his wife, because he knew that woman would have tripped out. We waited for this son, and you talking about sacrifice it? That's the devil talking to you, not God. But he obeyed God. And God was testing him.
Yeah.
We saw Noah 120 years preach the gospel. Obeyed God
Yes.
to the saving of his family in an hour. The faith, her faith overcome her obstacles. By faith, she persevered in the face of all the opposition and the things that appeared to stand in the way of her getting healing for daughter. But by faith, she worshiped under fire. I want you to note something. Jesus told her that she didn't deserve what she was asking for.
Right.
In the New King James or the King James Version, Jesus said it's not right to give the children's bread to dogs. And the Gentiles were considered Gentile dogs because the Gentiles were those who lacked the moral fiber what God required to stand in his presence, and they just live all sorts of life, and so they were considered Gentile dogs. And so he said, she understood the language, and it's not right to give the children's bread to dogs. I want you to call nobody Gentile on Monday. I'm using this analogy. The woman's saying that's the truth. And this is right to take the children's own meal and give it to the dog. But the dog sits on the outside. And when the children are finished eating, at least he gets the scraps. At least he gets the rejected part. And what she was saying, all I need is the crumbs. It was a faith that believed that God, I reject the crumbs that would satisfy the need that I have. And I want to say to you, there isn't a whole lot that you need from God. All you need is a touch. All you need is one touch, and it will take care of everything that you are faced with. Her response was one of worship. In verse 25, it says, then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. Her response to all of the turnaround and the blockade was worship. And let me say this, I know what your worship is predicated on, but you can't have your worship predicated on how things turn out. If it turns out bad, you must still worship. Worship. You're bad, worship. And he said, bless the Lord. Praise shall continually be in my mouth. What God is looking for is persons who will make a deposit of faith where you are not seeing God manifest on your behalf. But your worship indicates that you believe he will. That's what he's looking for in advance. Praise and worship. Whenever you need to know from the Bible, they require your documents, but also the deposit before they can release the funds to you. And so you got to release worship and faithfulness before heaven can move on your life. I want to quickly close. I promise you I will. So the final point, Alex, by faith, she activated and acquired a benefit that she didn't qualify for. How many of you in here didn't qualify for a loan in the bank? They told you there's no way on your salary you can get what you are requiring, but somehow it worked out. How many of you here didn't even qualify for a promotion, but they saw something in you that you yourself didn't see? Didn't qualify for certain blessings that God allowed to come your way, but yet you were blessed. Jesus answered her, and he said, you don't qualify. And she persisted by faith. Jesus moved by her faith, answered this woman and said, "Oh woman, great." Dr. Daisy, why you great is thy faith. Great faith, healing, and deliverance ministry. He said to this woman, great is thy faith. Verse 28, the latter part, be it even unto you as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole the same hour. Her faith was on exhibition. Let me say this to you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know how long you've been praying for it. But listen to me. God is testing your faith. And you must believe God, even though you don't see it happening, you don't see the inroads to it even coming to fruition. You have to believe God. You have to believe Him against all odds. You have to believe Him against the words of the people who say, stop having false hope and going down to that church. You have to believe Him against prayers that seem to be stalled or in stuck. You have to believe Him against your own fears and doubts. You have to believe that God will be gracious to you. And that He would look on your faith that is sustained in your difficult times and bless you with what you have asked for. Favor is going to find you. That's what I want to declare today as we close. If you hold on to your faith, His favor is going to find you. Some of you have been praying for a long time, praying over your husband, praying over your wife, or praying for a husband or wife. Favor is going to find you. Some of you have been praying about your financial circumstances. Favor is going to find you. You've been praying for your children and see them not be able to get it right. Favor is going to find you. And when favor finds you, even though you don't qualify, there's something about the grace of God. You don't qualify. And people don't think you deserve it. God's grace comes upon your life and raises His unmerited favor, whereby He bestows certain blessings upon you that you're not deserving of. You can ask yourself, what did I do to deserve this? But it's God's favor. Favor is coming to your life. I declare today. Keep holding on to your faith. I know that sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you feel like giving up. And sometimes through your missteps, you think this is it. But hold on to your faith. A season of God's favor is going to come to your life. Fear will roll away because God will let you see the light of day. Fear will be rolled away because God will let you see the light of day. So hold on. Tell the person next to you, hold on. That's the only thing I'm going to ask you to tell your neighbor. Look to your neighbor and tell him, hold on. Hold on, because He's giving you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. And once you lose on earth, shall they lose in heaven. Hold on, because the supply is coming from heaven. The Apostle Paul says, my God shall supply. Hold on, because you need the power He is with you. Hold on, because He gives strength to the feet of God. I know that He increases their strength. Even you shall bring the glory. Like a young man shall ever live for. Fight day. I wait upon the Lord, shall renew His strength. They shall You gotta hold on. David says, weeping, stand with me, weeping and joy. Joy. It's coming in the morning. You gotta believe God's report. The devil's report says that we must look to the government for our sustenance. We must look to the government to solve all of our problems. And when it doesn't work out, blame it on the government. But God's report says in Psalm 121, I will lift up my eyes